Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada around the world. My name is Tahir I. Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Rules Issue of Canada, broker for Record Facility Pro Realty Brokerage. Today we picked up this topic. What's on your mind today? Being a homeowner, a buyer who wants to buy the property, should he sell the property or the buyer should buy the property? Is the mortgage rate going down? Interest rates, because it's still not changed by the Bank of Canada for almost 3 months. So there are multiple things in mind, and as you know that lots of properties are in the market. Sellers don't know what price to put in the market, and buyers are curious what bargain they can get. The biggest challenge right now we have is sellers. What strategy they should use? Do they list too low and seek multiple offers? How the buyer will calculate the value to put an offer? Or another strategy, rate buy down strategy, seller paid mortgage rate buy down. What is that? Instead of lowering the price of the home price, a seller can pay a lump sum to the buyer's lender to permanently change the points, couple of percent in the mortgage. This is a new thought. And they can buy down. For example, you have a mortgage of 5%, and the buyer can only afford 4% mortgage. So you give that discount 1% to make a deal, and you may end up with a better deal as a seller. And also you accommodate a buyer. And this is called buy down because, or remember we used that vendor take back. And this is the same strategy. Idea is that you have to sell it. The biggest challenge that we are facing right now is affordability, because we expected during the summer the interest rate will go down, but they didn't. We're expecting something go in September maybe, because it's affecting the economy. Is it challenging for even realtors because we're self-employed. We only make money when we make deals. And if the buyer are not able to afford, how can you do that? And this is the challenge that we have on our minds. And how can we, so this is very important for the sellers. Instead of reducing the price, they offer incentive to the buyer, a certain percentage of the price of the mortgage, in order to negotiate a good deal. What are the other important topics? Solving a problem. If the biggest challenge we have is affordability, it makes home more affordable for buyers on a monthly basis without the seller having to drastically slash the final sale price. It's a give and take. Seller wants to sell, buyer wants to buy. Reason for selling a property could be any reason. Downgrading, upgrading, moving to a different city, or financial affordability issues, lost job, many issues. And buyer who is prepared to give a good offers, and he wants to make a deal. It's a negotiation between the buyer and seller, and you have to hire a qualified professional who understands the strategy, how to negotiate a deal. I'm a fellow Rules Issue of Canada. You can call our office 905-785-9923. I'd be more than happy to help you. Now, it has to be a win-win situation. Buyer right now want to take advantage of situation because there are lots of properties in the market, and sellers are forced to sell it based on their conditions. And those are private information. You never disclose privacy, motivation to anyone. As a professional, we are supposed to protect your privacy because we have to follow code of ethics, code of conduct, as illustrated in our Trust and Real Estate Services Act, TRESA, 2002. So there is a very strict obligation on our part to safeguard the information and give all the disclosures. I always remind to our realtor fellows, make disclosure, and also to the buyer and seller both, to make disclosures, and particularly sellers, if you have problems. For example, if you have a illegal basement, that means you built it for your living, or you built it and renting it, you must disclose to the buyer. Use Form 299. Remember that, Form 299, disclosure. That way you don't have to worry about it. We have checklist for seller checklist, a buyer checklist, checklist for tenants. We collect this information. Sometimes the seller will sign, sometimes they won't. But as a part of duty, as a registrant, as a realtor, sale agent, broker, or broker record, we have obligation to protect the consumer interest. Investigate, do due diligence. When you are hired by a consumer to protect their interest, you need to perform due diligence. Check out the square footage, check out the property taxes, you check out the lot sizes, square footage above grade, in the basement. And if you can't find the information, do it yourself. It's very, very important. We are trained, our brokers working for City Pro Realty, my brokerage, to calculate if you don't have it. And if you doubt on the report that you get from any sources, do your own calculation to get an idea. This is because you are hired by a consumer. They rely on you to protect their interests. Is very, very important. Win-win situation is that you can ask any price. Seller can offer any price. The question is it reasonable? What is the market value when you are listing a property? What is the strategy the seller is using to solicit business? These are coming in your mind when you're developing a strategy. All consumers are smart, intelligent. They are guru. They can dig out the information digitally available to them. So you are instrumental in collecting the data from multiple sources. And then you can calculate what is the best option for your client when you're making an offer. So similarly, when you're developing a listing a property, you list based on direction from the client, but you share the data. The decision to buy and sell is with the landlord to rent, seller to sell the property. They will tell you, direct you what to do. And also how the offers are handled is also very important to keep in mind how the offers are handled. We have a protocol. Have you not read our RICO guide, information guide for residential and commercial? Every realtor should be sending you a RICO guide by visiting reco.on.ca, so you understand the obligation when you are working with realtors, or you decide to be a self-represented party and you have signed to give consent and acknowledgement that you don't want any realtor to provide you service. So this is why it's very, very important for you to understand and think about it. Where your thinking cap, what's going on? And what are the highly relevant issues in this case? It's all about interest rate, because you need to calculate your affordability. Can I afford this? You can have a wish list, but if you can't afford it, you can have it. So this is why it's very important, it's very relevant to negotiate the mortgage rate. I'm a principal broker of Canada Express Mortgage, license number 13241. I'm the founder of that, and we also negotiate for arrange mortgage financing for residential commercial. If you need any help and opinion, I can give you because I have a license to provide that service. Similarly, I have a real estate broker license. I'm a broker of record. I'm a complying officer. I want to make sure all employees, our brokerage, raise the bar, be professional, deliver value through service to our client. And this is very, very important for consumer because our goal is through our Realty Coffee Talk to increase awareness and building consumer confidence in buying and selling real estate. And this is why we're talking about what is in your mind today. So realtors have developed strategy with the sellers. They develop strategy. They use multiple platforms other than the MLS, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. People are digitally checking out things because your presence is there. You can find the information. So this all strategy when you're trying to buy and sell as an agent, you think about your strategy and discuss with this. And also, when you are dealing with the mortgages, the mortgage loan agent broker need to explain its potential buyers how it's going to work. When you are seeking a mortgage, they give you pros and cons how to maintain. When you are buying a property as a principal resident is different than when you're buying investment property. That means you're buying a second property. So you have to think about that and disclose information to your broker who's going to help you to achieve success for your transaction. So it's very important that we have a meeting of mind. And this is very important because loan officer, which are the mortgage underwriter, they understand how to fulfill their needs. And they don't need to violate the law. So you have to disclose information because I'm very strict about compliance. We don't talk to anyone who is not able to provide evidence, source of income, and verification, identity. We only deal with face-to-face IDs. That's a FinTrack requirement. We try to use face-to-face. We don't deal with the people from overseas unless we are able to see face-to-face. Or we have to use some cases coming somebody from Alberta and renting it here. We use other digital format where we can feel confident that we are able to see the ID, mostly driving license or passport, and we are able to read it and record it. Or we use those platforms. There are platforms that you can use to verify the identity of a client. Those are requirements under Procedure of Crime, Money Laundering, and Terrorist Financing Act. And we, as a real estate professional, as well as mortgage agent or broker, we're responsible, honest, because to help the industry when you are doing this due diligence, because there are less complaints, more successful transactions, less and less default. It affects the cost of providing such service. So this is on our mind. We should be on our mind what we are doing, and then we are able to achieve a successful transaction. So the seller consumer, they need to understand that we have certain obligation. When you come to us to list a property or help you buy a property, we have to listen to you. We put in our schedule in a listing agreement or the buyer representation agreement, either you designate some person or not. Designation is when you select, for example, in City Pro Realty, I am the owner and president, and you say, Mr. Qureshi, I want you to represent me. So that means you are designating me to deal with you. Therefore, it's called designation, seller designated representation agreement or buyer designated representation agreement. That means that person will perform the service. This is very, very important that you learn about this process. And if you go to city-pro.net and go for buying process or buying tips, you will see lots of information. It's free. You can go learn. And even same thing when you're selling it, go to the seller topics, tips, how to sell your property. My goal is always consumer awareness, building consumer confidence, and promoting good ethic and professional practices within our profession. And this is my desire, effort, and goal to make sure that we have less and less complaint from people and more and more satisfied customer, and they trust on our way of doing business. Recently, one of the brokerage was closed down by the regulator, and you know how many people are affected. And this is the beauty about our regulated real estate profession, that protection is there and somebody is monitoring the business as agent and the brokerage. So you probably heard in the news, and this is why you feel confidence. There is a regulator who is taking actions against those who breach Trust in Real Estate Services Act, TRESA, to restore the trust of the people. And this is the mandate of the RECO as a regulator on behalf of the government of Ontario, to maintain a consumer protection program and regulating registration, education, registration, compliance, and consumer protection program. So this is what we're talking about. There are going to be various issues that we're going to talk about, how to win a bidding war without overpaying. And this is going to be a discussion continuing, because I'm giving you what are your minds. So if you're not thinking, I am thinking, what is your mind? And if the condo hometown come back, this town, and also unlocking your equity right away, and strategy, renovation, and maximizing return on investment. So these are the things that are coming in mind. A fantastic metaphor is your gate rate. It is high market rate. You get pre-approved. So strategy is, when you are a buyer, you talk to someone who's qualified and get them to pre-approve you, so you reassess yourself. Based on your assessment, you know which area that you can buy the property. You can Google realtor.ca, or you have a broker. Call my office, 905-785-9923, and ask for me. I'll be more than happy to come to you and guide you to make sure you make the right decision, because this is the biggest financial decision you will be making for your family in your lifetime. It has the consequences. Lots of people get excited. They go to the builders and buy property, and now they are suffering because they can't close. The prices have gone down to $300,000 from the time they were buying it. So when you are dealing with a educated experience who does forecasting and also prediction, they have knowledge of the industry, because they are studying the statistic to make sure they know what they're doing. I have stopped many clients not buying property when it was going up, because I knew that it's going to come down. Anything go up, throw the ball, get a tennis ball, throw it up, and look, come back and hit your head. That's exactly what happens when you are working with inexperienced people, or not people who are qualified enough who understand the ups and downs and economy cycle, things like that. They're not aware of the marketplace, and they are doing what you are telling them. But sometimes, as a real estate professional, we hold our client's hand not to buy it. You know why? Because we see that there's something going to happen, and you don't want your client to suffer. I'm so blessed that we have almost 21 plus almost years, and we've been very successful. We have a 5-star Google review on Google, and that reason is We care, we deliver value through service. We're going to take a break now, and then we'll come back and join you after the break.
अगर आपको दुबई या मिडिल ईस्ट नुमा ज़ेवरात की तलाश है तो आपको दूर जाने की बिल्कुल जरूरत नहीं। आज ही हमारे मिसिसागा रिजवे स्टोर तशरीफ लाइए। अल करम ज्वेलर्स। हमारे पास सोने के बेहतरीन कंगन, कड़े, झुमके, हार और सोने के सेट्स भी दस्तयाब हैं। शादी हो या मेहंदी या कोई भी फंक्शन, आपकी पसंद के तमाम ज़ेवरात आपको हमारे स्टोर में मौजूद मिलेंगे। आज ही हमारे स्टोर पर तशरीफ लाइए। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, 3465 प्लैटिनम ड्राइव, यूनिट 99, मिसिसागा, या फिर कॉल करें 905-828-0009। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, फरमाइश आपकी, गारंटी हमारी।
डिक्सी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस, जहां आपकी तमाम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और अप्लायंसेस की जरूरियात पूरी होंगी। हमारे पास आपको हर टॉप ब्रांड मौजूद मिलेगा, चाहे वो वर्लपूल हो या एलजी, सैमसंग हो या जनरल इलेक्ट्रिक्स। हम इन सब के ऑथराइज्ड डीलर हैं। आइए और हमसे 5 स्टार खिदमत का लुत्फ उठाइए। हम आपको तमाम अप्लायंसेस सबसे बेहतर और सस्ते दामों पर फराहम करेंगे, ये हमारी गारंटी है। विजिट आवर वेबसाइट www.dixieelectronics.ca या फिर हमें कॉल कीजिए 905-625-5900. At Dixie Electronics and Appliances, we sell quality and deliver confidence.
HK Movers, home, offices, apartments and delivery, big or small, we move it all.
HK Movers.
Local and long distance, we also ship cars, Keller transport and moving services.
For service with a smile, give us a call.
Call Mr. Harminder 416-524-6704.
416-524-6704 पे.
Visit 140 Advance Boulevard, Unit number 10, Brampton.
Long distance moving specialist.
HK Movers. HK Movers.
Looking to buy, build, or renovate your dream home? At City Pro Realty, we don't just sell properties, we deliver complete solutions. From finding the perfect property to securing the right financing, we handle it all. Need funds to buy or build? We've got you covered. Canada Express Mortgage Incorporated, Brokerage LIC number 13241. And if you're dreaming of a custom home or a top-to-bottom renovation, our trusted builders make it happen, seamlessly. 3 services. 1 trusted team. We deliver value through service. Think about us, then call us. Your dream home starts here with us. From keys to construction, we make it simple. Think about us today. Call us 905-785-9923. Thank you. Looking to buy, build, or renovate your dream home? At City Pro Realty, we don't just sell properties, we deliver complete solutions. From finding the perfect property to securing the right financing, we handle it all. Need funds to buy or build? We've got you covered. Canada Express Mortgage Incorporated, Brokerage LIC number 13241. And if you're dreaming of a custom home or a top-to-bottom renovation.
Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Nawaz and Tema in Canada, around the world. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm a fellow of Realty Coffee of Canada, broker of record for City Pro Realty Brokerage. My passion is real estate and your success is my priority. We're talking about what is on your mind today. We need to talk about a little bit about small things. So next step is how to win a bidding war without overpaying. And this is the strategy the seller use. They will lower the value of the property to entice more buyers to get the bidding war. And with the emotion, the price goes up because people are emotionally attached with the property. They lose the logic. They don't even think about that when you come back for asking a mortgage lender to finance your deal 10 days before closing, then they give funds to the lawyer. They say your appraisal came back 100,000, 150,000 lower than what you negotiated in the agreement of purchase and sale. And then what do? You are stuck. Some may go be even higher, depends on the value of the property. So this is about important to think your thinking cap. Don't get excited. There are a program that I have aired on Awaz Entertainment. You can go to realtycoffeetalk.com, or you can go to Awaz Entertainment Realty Coffee Talk, or you can go to YouTube at the rate of Realty Coffee Talk. There are more than 504 episodes, and one of them was talking about this particular topic. Don't get excited. You love the property. If you overpay the property, and your mortgage amount will be affected. Financing from the lender will be affected. And you better have a contingency plan. Otherwise, if you have firmed the deal, time of closing, you can't get the financing, you're in trouble. And this is why I want you to wear the thinking cap. Think about it. You don't want to overpay that you don't even able to get the mortgage, because they have the right to refuse giving you funds because they are based on appraised value, especially conventional mortgage, because there's two types of mortgages. I'm going to talk only those. One is conventional mortgage where 20% is down paid by the buyer and 80% is financed, provided that the appraised value came out according to the APS negotiated. The other one is called high ratio mortgage, which is you go to CMHC, you're a first-time buyer, and you pay 5-10% and 90% is finance, and the bank will secure the guarantee from CMHC to lend you the money, and they charge you lump sum money depending on the percentage of how much you are asking. So you have to go to cmhc.ca to learn about that. So be careful about it. Don't get excited when you're doing a bidding war, because you need to evaluate. And this art comes with experience and knowledge. Not exciting that how many someone has sold the unit. It's not about volume. It's about quality, satisfaction of your buyer client. The other thing is you have to think about when you're looking at a good value of your property is equity and renovation. In liquidity, you're unlocking your equity right away. That means you need money to renovate the property. If you are selling a property that has not been renovated, it will not give you the maximum value, because the buyer will not comprehend how it's going to look like when it's finished. They want the way they want to see, or the way you think is going to be presented. You can do lots of nice, furnishing, but people will think the condition of the property, the windows, are they new or replaced? Roof is new or replaced? Is what type of roof this? Is it a metal roof? Because everybody's buying a metal roof now. Kitchen upgrade, counters, quartz, and stainless steel appliances, flooring, your HVACs. They all evaluate that to make sure you have up to date, because affordability is a big issue. They are taking lots of efforts, pain and efforts to qualify for a house that they are offering a deal. They don't have any more money to pay for extra activities after purchasing the property. So they're able to put that money into the offer rather than negotiating and bargaining a price and then you're doing renovation because of a loan, because they have maximized their credit leverage to get the financing. So it's very important to think this way. You also draw money, use your home equity, line of credit, and refinancing, maybe you're able to get a better rate to renovate. Does it make sense? Yes, it does. Is it risky? Of course it's risky. Everything has a risk. But you need to calculate that. And you talk about your property in your area where you are. And everybody's mind is, when will rates finally fall? People are thinking they're desperate. The Fed, our federal government, inflation, and your mortgage. Everyone wants to know this. Instead of predicting, educate on how it works. We appreciate that. The decision is made by the government. And interest rate is decided by Bank of Canada, prime rate. Because prime rate is used by regular bank, the big 6 banks, to come up with the pricing. As you notice that recently the bank have increased the fixed rate as compared to variable rate because they see it might drop. So they increase interest rate on fixed rate. Lots of people I'm recommending not go more than 3 years, 2 to 3 years. So based on circumstances, you have to make opinion. We have 2 things to remember being a professional. Know your client, know your product. Know your client means you need to know in and out of financial position of your client, whether you're a mortgage agent or you're a realtor, because he or she is going to be making a decision based on your advice. And you will be accountable because you are supposed to perform competent service. If you're not licensed, recommend to a qualified person. Therefore, they get the solid opinion. Recommend them to 3 people. I'm a broker of record for real estate. I'm also principal broker. We have people who look after you. Send it to someone who can make sure your deal is done right away, in a correct way. So you don't have to fall back and default. The bigger concern is default, and that's what you have to avoid that. So this is very important. Then also your inflation rate, you know the Bank of Canada is watching this like anything. And you have to think about whether you're going to take a 3 months, 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 years fixed mortgage. And then also your ability to pay. You may have amortization extended so you can pay less money. What is your plan? Idea goes to the point, what is your planning strategy? How long you plan to live in that house? Then you have made priority because you're young kids, you're staying in a small area where the schools are closed and they have a good reporting. And the other thing I was pointed out because of so many things coming. Next episode, we're going to answer the questions. I have a list of questions that people have called me and asked me. I'm going to send those and talk about that. The boundary of the school. If you are putting an offer or buying a property, consumer as a real estate professional, please check out the school boundary, because if the school is not falling within that boundary, you're going to have a problem for your child to go to that school. Number 2, in my area neighborhood, Credit Mills, we have a shortage of students. People can absorb. So before you buy it, as a consumer, I suggest you call that school where you're buying the property, that your child can go to that school or not. Think about that. That's what we're thinking about. What is your mind today? Multiple things we talk about reason is they're affecting the transaction that you are negotiating for your client as a real estate professional and consumer, which leads to dissatisfaction and complaint against a person who's licensed, who's supposed to be competent professional, follow the code of ethics, be responsible for its act, and help the client make informed decision. How often do you go to school to verify there is an accommodation for the certain 9th grader, 10th grader, 8th grader, what is the capacity? Is capacity full? Can you allow your child to go to that school? No. If you buy the property, they will be moving their child to somewhere else. And this is very, very critical for you to check it out. So idea again is increasing awareness, building consumer confidence. Most important thing you have to remember when you are working with the consumer, working with a real estate professional, two things very, very important. Go to RECO, reco.on.ca, check out the agent that is working with you is licensed and has a valid license. We used to have a automatic printout that we can download, but they don't do that anymore. So we recommend you to go there. And number two is that the brokerage that is what he is working for, he or she is working for, is licensed. So go to reco.on.ca to check the brokerage, because when you give a deposit to them, it's protected up to $200,000 depending on the total volume of the brokerage. So it's very, very important to go to reco.on.ca to check it out, to verify the agent or the broker or broker record is registered and the company he, she is working is record, and those are licensed, valid license. Then you can feel confidence to work with that person. Obviously, you interviewing quite a few people before you hire. I recommend that, I encourage you should interview. Don't think about marketing strategies, other things, advertisement. Some people have more advertising dollars than people, but small brokerage can provide you good service that you can be unmatched by anybody. So idea is, if you are looking to buy or sell your property, residential, commercial, design or building, call my office 905-785-9923. We will be there to help you, and we make you a success story, and we achieve a value that you will be happy with it. Thank you for watching Realty Coffee Talk, Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. If you wish to advertise on Awaz Entertainment, please contact us. We'll be more than happy to get you a special deal to advertise your and promote your business on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. May God bless you. May God bless Canada. Bye for now.